So what's good, TMG fam? It's your boy Ellen. I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute, man. And listen, we are back with some more discoveries that kind of leave you, scratching your head a little bit. You know what I mean? So we're going to check these out. But before we get into them, remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Now let's check it out. Let's go.
A farmer who just would not give up, digging in his field in Michigan when he thought he hit a fence post. Turns out he found a window back to the Ice Age.
A Texas farmer was digging in his field when he uncovered something shocking, much like a Michigan farmer who thought he hit an old fence post, but found an Ice Age relic instead. ABC's John Donovan reported that this discovery amazed people around the world. Imagine stumbling upon an electrical part embedded in ancient granite, as John J. Williams did in 1998. What other secrets lie buried beneath our feet, waiting to be found? Join us as we reveal the urgent mystery behind these terrifying discoveries. Michigan farmer discovers Ice Age relic. While plowing his field, he thought he had hit an old fence post, but when he looked closer, he realized it was something from the Ice Age, surprising both him and scientists everywhere.
It was an adult male, probably in its 40s at the time of its death. Probably lived between 10,000 and 15,000 years ago.
ABC's John Donan reported that this find not only shocked the farmer, but also grabbed the attention of people around the world. This discovery adds to a growing list of amazing things found underground. For example, John J. Williams, an electrical engineer, found something strange while hiking in North America in 1998. He came across what looked like an electrical part stuck in solid granite. This object, with a visible triple plug, seemed so out of place in the ancient rock that Williams had to investigate more. He uncovered what appeared to be an electrical connector, but that wasn't the most puzzling part. Williams chose to keep the location of his find a secret, leading some to think it might be a made-up story. Despite this doubt, Williams insists the artifact is real. He has even turned down offers of up to $500,000 to buy it, allowing scientific examination only if he can be there. The rock remains untouched.
See, he's more smart. He's smarter than the ones we typically see who just quickly run. They take the first quote given to them that what they'll buy it for, or what I've been seeing a lot lately is they've just been handing it over and not receiving any type of compensation. He's actually smart. No, you're not just going to try to hand me anything for it. And no, you're not going to examine it while I'm not there. Absolutely not. So I like the way he's going about it more.
Touched, its structure completely unaltered. Inside it, there's something unusual called the PTRX. Stands out from the usual rock formations. It's about 8 mm across, with tiny pins around 3 mm tall. Each pin is about 1 mm thick. Amazingly, there's no sign that the PTRX was attached to the rock with glue or welding. This means the PTRX has been part of the rock since the granite formed. Geological studies show the granite around the PTRX is at least 100,000 years old. This age makes it hard to believe the object was made by people, as it's much older than any known advanced human technology. What's even more interesting is that the PTRX looks a lot like a modern electrical connector, which has sparked a lot of debate and curiosity about how something like this could exist in such an ancient rock. The X-ray exams of the PTRX revealed something unusual inside, an opaque core. Williams asked an engineer and a geologist to take a look, and they confirmed that the electronic device in the granite didn't have any modern materials like glues or binding agents. Even though there's no sign of modern stuff, some people still think the object might be a fake. But Williams firmly believes that the PTRX is a real artifact from a very advanced, possibly alien civilization. This object challenges how we usually think about past technological advancements and human history.
Incredible story about a long-lost engagement ring that beat the odds in the oddest way.
A heartwarming story from Alberta, Canada. Mary Graham found her precious diamond ring after 13 years. She lost it while gardening and felt so embarrassed that she replaced it without telling her husband. Years later, her daughter-in-law, Colleen Daly, discovered the ring wrapped around a carrot while harvesting vegetables. When Mary's son shared the news, Mary was overjoyed, but regretted not telling her late husband about losing the ring, thinking he would have found it funny. Now that she has the ring back, Mary plans to keep it safe and treasure it even more. But that's not the end of the story. The way the ring was found, perfectly around a carrot, made the rediscovery even more special and memorable for Mary and her family.
Amid much speculation, archaeologists in Egypt have unsealed a massive black sarcophagus, a huge coffin found at a construction site in Alexandria. Some have been wondering if it might reveal the body of Alexander the Great or unleash a deadly curse.
The busy city of Alexandria, in the Gabar district,
my money would be betting on that it would unleash a deadly curse. That's where I probably place my bet on.
Construction work revealed a surprising find, a huge sarcophagus that got historians and archaeologists very excited. This coffin, from around the time after Alexander the Great's conquest in 332 BC, was massive. Measuring almost 9 feet long, 5 feet wide, and 6 feet tall, it is one of the biggest coffins ever found in the area. People were buzzing with excitement, thinking it might hold the remains of Alexander the Great himself. But when they...
Look how many people it take to lift the top off of that joker, bro. And you see they trying to do it carefully, but look how many people it take.
opened it, instead of royal treasures, they found something quite grim. The inside of the coffin had no inscriptions or artwork. Silently holding the secrets of those buried there, a thick layer of mortar covered the sarcophagus, making Mustafa Waziri, the Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities, guess that it had stayed sealed since it was buried over 2,000 years ago. But this is still just a theory. The skeletons inside had their own story to tell. One had marks from an arrow wound, hinting at a violent... This suggested that these might have been soldiers or important people who died in battle. The sewage inside added another twist, showing that over the years, the environment had seeped into the tomb. The morning brings a new, exciting find beneath Izmir's historic streets. Something amazing has caught the eye of historians and archaeologists around the world. In the busy streets of Izmir, a team found an entrance that was just a hole in the ground. To explore this entrance to the past, they had to weave through narrow lanes, set up a ladder, and climb down past an ancient Roman column. What they found was a remarkable Roman house, over 2,700 years old. As they carefully moved through the rooms, they found fine details and decorations that showed a clear picture of wealthy Roman life. The dig hadn't gotten official permission, which led to police stepping in. 3 people were detained for digging without proper authorization. Despite this problem, the important...
I don't know how I feel about that rule or law or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Now I gotta go to jail or detained because y'all don't want me to discover something before y'all get to it, so that y'all can remove history or hide things that you don't want us to know about. Y'all do understand that's pretty much the premise of why that law possibly exists, right? I'm just making sure I'm not the only one.
of the find couldn't be denied. Izmir, already famous for its rich history, became even more interesting with this discovery. Not far from the Roman house, another exciting discovery was made, a nearly 2,000-year-old amphitheater. This ancient place, once filled with the performances of Roman actors and the cheers of spectators, was a central part of community life. Near the amphitheater, archaeologists also found a communal latrine, likely used by the performers. This gave a glimpse into the daily lives and social habits of those who lived thousands of years ago. But this wasn't the only thrilling find. Across the ocean in Mexico, another team of archaeologists made an exciting discovery, a dinosaur tail. This find adds more to our understanding of the prehistoric world, connecting us with the ancient creatures that once roamed the earth. These discoveries, whether from Roman times or prehistoric life, continue to enlighten and inspire, giving us invaluable insights into the civilizations and creatures of the past. The vast desert near General Chepeda in Coahuila something amazing was discovered. Researchers found a dinosaur tail that is around 72 million years old. This exciting news was shared by Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History, Unearthed. It's the first time a fossil like this has been found in Mexico. The tail is 5 meters long and is in excellent condition. Francisco Aguilar, the director of ENH, explained how rare this find is. He mentioned that it gives us a great opportunity to learn more about dinosaurs. The tail likely belonged to a hadrosaur, which is also known as a duck-billed dinosaur. This tail probably made up about half of the dinosaur's total length. A team of archaeologists and students from INAH and the National Autonomous University of Mexico spent 20 days carefully digging through rock to uncover the tail. They found all 50 vertebrae in perfect condition, which is very rare for such an old fossil. Along with the tail, they also found other bones, including parts of the dinosaur's hips. Aguilar pointed out that discoveries like this are quite rare and very important. This find not only adds to our knowledge about hadrosaurs, but also helps us imagine the ancient environments where these dinosaurs lived. It shows how valuable field archaeology is and encourages more exploration of Mexico's rich prehistoric areas. But that's not the end of it. The discovery offers a unique look into the past and allows scientists to study how these dinosaurs lived and moved. Finding such a well-preserved tail opens up new research possibilities and can lead to more significant discoveries in the future. The recent discovery of a hadrosaur tail in Mexico might help us learn more about the hadrosaur family's history and give us important clues about diseases these ancient creatures had. Interestingly, these diseases are quite similar to those humans have today, like tumors and arthritis. The tail was found in Coahuila, a region in northern Mexico, famous for its many dinosaur fossils. During the Cretaceous period, which ended around 65 million years ago, much of this area was a coastal zone, making it a great place to find both marine and land dinosaur remains. Now, another discovery leads us deeper into the past. Mexico's new dinosaur discovery. The fossilized tail will be moved to the General Sea facility for careful cleaning and detailed study. This process is crucial because it helps preserve the specimen and improves the accuracy of the data collected from it. This work highlights Mexico's significant role in paleontology and opens up new ways to understand how dinosaurs lived and interacted with their environment. And here's another interesting point. The insights gained from these studies could change how we understand dinosaur biology and the ecological dynamics of the Cretaceous period. This discovery not only adds to our knowledge of the past, but also helps us understand biological patterns that continue through time. In the United States, a surprising discovery was made in a man's backyard. A Reddit user, known as Cap Antarctica, found a fallout shelter from the 1960s after hearing about it from the previous homeowner. Curious, he checked city records and found a permit with a rough drawing of where the shelter might be. Using a metal detector, he searched the land until he found the hatch, which was oddly installed upside down. When he opened the hatch, he saw a spiral staircase leading down to a well-preserved bunker. The main room was spacious, dry and quiet, capturing a moment from the past. It's believed the shelter was built in 1961, during the Cold War, when the fear of nuclear war was very real. The bunker was probably filled in during the late 1960s to mid-1970s, after the threat of nuclear conflict decreased following the Cuban Missile Crisis. But this wasn't the most surprising part.
Like, I feel like it's a lot more that was around too, you know? But are we allowed to dig and find it and not get in trouble or go to jail, get arrested? You know what I mean? But I feel like it's a lot more of those little bunkers around. Maybe where you live, maybe near where I live. We need to find them, man, because like I said before, we may need them here soon.
The shelter was found in Tucson, Arizona, a city that was important during the Cold War. The area had many underground silos with intercontinental ballistic missiles and nuclear warheads, making Tucson a target for enemy attacks. This explains why many shelters were built during that time. Finding this shelter not only connects us to past events, but also reminds us of the fear that once dominated during the Cold War. In the quiet and beautiful area of Northern California, a couple made an amazing discovery while walking their dog near an old tree on their property. It was February 2013, a day that seemed just like any other until they found $10 million worth of rare gold coins hidden in the ground. These 1,427 coins from 1847 to 1894 looked brand new and were in perfect condition. This treasure was a reminder of the gold rush days and the fortunes that people left behind. Some of these coins are so rare that they might be worth nearly $1 million each. David Hall, from the Professional Coin Grading Service, checked the coins and said it was one of the biggest treasure finds in the US. The couple, who want to stay anonymous, found the coins in 8 cans along a path they had walked for years. They plan to sell most of these historic coins on Amazon, keeping just a few for sentimental reasons.
Smart. Sell half now, pay off your debt, get you a home, make sure you got money in the bank, keep the rest, let it continue, because it ain't gonna do nothing but continue to appreciate. So put it in a safe deposit box or store it somewhere, you know what I mean, where nobody can't get to it, and let it continue to appreciate, bro. They came up. If they play this right, they ain't never got to work another day in their life at all.
The money they make from this discovery will secure their financial future. Captain Tarka started an exciting project in another part of Northern California to bring a piece of history back to life. He found an old permit with simple drawings of a fallout shelter from a tense period in history. Using these drawings, he began restoring the shelter to its original condition. This project has been both challenging and fun for Captain Tarka. However, he's not sure what to do with the bunker once it's fully restored. The community has been buzzing with ideas. On Reddit, people have suggested turning the bunker into a unique bed and breakfast or offering tours of the underground site. These conversations show that people are really interested in the bunker and that it could have a new purpose, bringing a piece of history back to life for everyone to see. When people find valuable items buried in their yards, it often makes the news and gets the whole neighborhood excited. Picture this excitement spreading across the community. One person finds a gold coin or a rare artifact, and suddenly everyone is out with their metal detectors. Sales of metal detecting gear could skyrocket as weekends turn into treasure hunts. Families and friends.
I mean, wouldn't you? I know I would be. I don't know nothing about a metal detector, but let somebody near me discover some valuable gold or items and stuff like that was buried. Oh yes, I'm going to get me one and I'm going to be out there the next day, all day until I find something, because you know that ain't the end of it. That ain't all of it. They just scratching the surface with whatever they found.
Would explore every inch of their gardens, hoping to find hidden treasures. It's a community adventure that turns ordinary backyards into potential sites for historic finds. Would you be tempted to join this group of backyard explorers, digging through the dirt to uncover lost and forgotten items? But that's not all. In Portugal, an incredible discovery has amazed the scientific community. Paleontologists found what might be the largest dinosaur ever discovered in Europe. This dinosaur, known as a sauropod, was a huge plant eater that lived around 150 million years ago. It stood 12 meters tall and was 25 meters long. Elizabeth Malafia, a well-known paleontologist from the Faculty of Sciences at Lisbon University, shared more about this amazing find. This discovery not only shows us these enormous creatures that once lived on our planet, but also helps us understand the ancient ecosystems that shaped our Earth's history. In early August, something amazing was found in a small garden near Pomal, central Portugal. This discovery is a big deal in the world of paleontology. It all started in 2017 when a homeowner began digging for a home extension and stumbled upon one of the largest dinosaur fossils ever found in Europe, and maybe even the world. Scientists from Portugal and Spain worked together to uncover these ancient remains. Among the fascinating finds were the bones of a dinosaur, including a huge rib about 3 meters long. This wasn't just about the size of the bones. The quality of the fossils amazed scientists. The bones likely belonged to a brachiosaurid, a type of dinosaur known for its long neck and tail. These dinosaurs lived over 150 million years ago during the Upper Jurassic period. The fossils, including vertebrae and ribs, were found just as they were in the dinosaur's body, which is very rare. This kind of preservation helps scientists learn more about how these giant creatures looked and maybe even how they behaved. But this wasn't the most surprising part. The discovery at Pomal has expanded our knowledge about brachiosaurids and sparked new interest in further exploration. The team of paleontologists, led by Malifa, announced plans for more digging in the area, hoping to learn even more about life during the Jurassic period. While this was happening, another interesting find added a twist to the story. A woman following the dig found stones nearby that looked like skulls. This led to more investigation, and a video confirmed the skull-like shapes of the stones. This stirred excitement and made everyone wonder what other secrets might be hidden in Pomal's soil. But this wasn't the only intriguing part. Hoffman shared more about the skulls lined up near her back door. She noticed they were arranged neatly and looked like they were made of stone. Despite some wear and tear, it was clear these skulls were made of concrete. She couldn't help but wonder about the unusual garden decorations chosen by the previous owners. The strange arrangement got her viewers talking and laughing. One viewer jokingly suggested the skulls might be hiding real ones, while another said they were very unique, but the story didn't end there. The previous tenant, Haven, saw Hoffman's video and shared her own explanation. Haven said her fiancé had made the skulls from cement. They were meant to be stepping stones to keep the muddy backyard walkable during rain. Haven apologized for any confusion and suggested Hoffman use the skulls as intended. Hoffman felt relieved and decided to keep the skulls, planning to fix them up for use as quirky garden features. She even asked her viewers to help name them, with ideas like Yori and Scully, turning a strange find into a fun community project. In 2010, the Zwick family from Neenah, Wisconsin, made an amazing discovery while working in their backyard. As they were digging, their shovels hit something unexpected, an old fallout shelter that had been sealed and forgotten since the Cold War.
See, I keep saying this, it's gotta be more. A lot more of these around, man. Now, this is the kind I want to find. I don't want to have to dig for mine. I want to come across it like this, man, and open it up and see what it has to offer.
This underground shelter, put in by the home's previous owner, was perfectly preserved, as if it was waiting to be found again. Next, we uncover secrets from not so long ago. A family's time capsule discovery. The shelter was like a snapshot from a time when people were very worried about nuclear war. Inside, the Zwicks found it fully stocked with everything needed to survive 2 weeks underground. There were rows of canned foods with faded labels, racks of clothing that looked untouched by time, and even a first aid kit ready for emergencies. But this wasn't the most surprising part. As they explored more, they found a portable radio that still worked, and several family games meant to keep people distracted from the worries above. The air in the shelter was stale, but the items were in great condition. There were also newspapers from the 1960s, neatly folded, with headlines that reminded them of the fears people had back then. This discovery gave the Zwicks a direct look into the past and showed how families once prepared for the worst in ways that seem strange today. The shelter, with all its...
My question is, though, how long can you breathe down there, or what's the way to ventilate? How do you have ventilation down there, especially if you're dealing with some type of nuclear agent that is blasted in and the air quality is bad up there? how are you getting fresh air down there? Legitimate question. Like, it could be ignorant and y'all be like, yo, this is how. You don't know that? Cool, let me know. Because that's one of my questions. Especially if I build one or find one, I want to be able to make sure we got air for long periods of time. And maybe you can't do that. Maybe it's not possible. Maybe what you have down there is what you have. And once it runs out, it's up for y'all. So let me know.
Contents still there became a vivid lesson for the Zwick children. It showed them a very different world, a world where people planned for disasters with great care and hoped those plans would never be needed. As the Zwick family opened the doors of the underground shelter, it felt like they had stepped back in time to the 1960s. Everything inside was perfectly preserved, almost as if the shelter had been closed just the day before. The supplies were in excellent condition, each item reminding them of the era when nuclear war was a real fear. Opening the shelter was like discovering a time capsule, filled with reminders of a time when the threat of nuclear conflict was ever present. Among the supplies, they found unexpected items like a phone directory. This odd inclusion made it feel even more like they had traveled back in time, showing what people in that era thought was important for survival. It highlighted the unique ways people prepared for potential disasters, thinking ahead to what they might need during long periods of isolation. The shelter wasn't just for keeping survival gear, it was a window to the past. It gave the Zwicks a glimpse into the minds of those who lived through some of the most uncertain times in recent history. Discovering it allowed them to connect with the past, thinking about the people who built the shelter and the history that shaped their actions. But this wasn't the only surprise. It was a reminder of how history's shadows still linger today, reflecting the anxieties and preparations of those who came before us. Imagine finding an old bomb shelter in your backyard. What would you do? The Zwick family faced this exact situation. Imagine finding an old bomb shelter in your backyard. What would you do? The Zwick family faced this exact situation. They had a few options. They could turn it into a panic room, ready for any modern crisis, or maybe a unique home gym to work out and relieve stress. Another idea was to make it a quirky Airbnb rental, letting visitors experience a piece of Cold War history. Each choice brought its own mix of excitement and challenges, keeping the family busy with planning and dreaming. What would you do if you found something like this in your yard? The Emanuel's discovery added a spark of adventure to their lives, showing how everyday activities can suddenly become extraordinary. Behind Matthew Emanuel's house,
Call me crazy, but I think every home you buy should come with one of those bomb shelters. Like, builders should incorporate that into the plans. It should be like a part of your home. Like, you know what I mean? When they build the plans, okay, where's your bomb shelter? You have to have that. That'll keep you within the guidelines, rules, and regulations. You need to have that. You have to have that. I feel like we should head that way, and somebody should make that law so everyone is prepared. You have no choice.
There was an old, rusty safe hidden in the garden. During some routine landscaping, they found it and discovered treasures worth $52,000 inside. Among the wet $100 bills, shiny diamonds, gold, and jade, there was a piece of paper with an address. This address led Matthew to his neighbor's home. 7 years earlier, these neighbors had been robbed and lost their valuables. Finding their belongings was a miracle, and they were overjoyed. They even wondered if the infamous ninja burglar, Robert Costanzo, who was known for many burglaries in the area, was behind the theft. From recent history, we go back to the age of giants, the mammoth discoveries of North Texas. In North Texas, on Wayne McHugh's property in Ellis County, something amazing was found. As he dug through the soil, he uncovered the bones of an ancient mammoth. This incredible discovery connected Wayne to a prehistoric past, revealing a world that once existed right where he lived. While working in a gravel pit with an excavator, Michael Chan and his grandson, Ethan Beasley, found something amazing. The machine's claw hit a hard object. When they looked closer, they saw it was a mammoth tusk. This wasn't just any tusk. It was 6 feet long and from an ancient time. But the surprises didn't stop there. As they dug more, Michael and Ethan uncovered nearly the whole skeleton of a Columbian mammoth, a creature scientifically known as Mammuthus columbi. These giant creatures once wandered across southern North America all the way down into Mexico. They became extinct about 12,500 years ago, leaving only bones behind. The skeleton that Michael and Ethan found was estimated to be between 20,000 and 60,000 years old. Amazingly, it was in great condition, giving a clear view into the distant past. But this wasn't the most exciting part. Understanding how important their find was, the Chan family decided to share it with everyone. They donated the mammoth skeleton to the Perot Museum of Nature and Science in Dallas. Colleen Walker, the museum's CEO, praised the discovery as a huge addition to their collection. She emphasized its cultural and historical significance, explaining how such finds help us understand Earth's ecological history better. This donation not only added an important piece to the museum, but also promised to excite and educate visitors about the planet's ancient past. In the beautiful area of North Texas, Tom Vance, a biology professor and paleontologist at Navarro College, is leading an exciting project. He and his team found the bones of a mammoth that was about 8 to 9 feet tall, almost as big as a modern female Asian elephant. This amazing discovery was made with the help of a group of dedicated volunteers. They worked carefully to dig up the ancient bones, making sure not to damage them. Marty and Ethan, 2 team members, were very careful in their work, which was really important for keeping the bones in good shape. Walker, another member of the team, jokingly mentioned how the mammoth's bones could have ended up under a Texas highway if they hadn't been found. This shows how lucky the discovery was and how important it is to protect such treasures. But that's not the most surprising part. This find gives us a glimpse into prehistoric life and reminds us how much history we could lose without careful archaeological work. Imagine if these bones had been destroyed or lost. It's a powerful reminder of the value of what we do to uncover and protect our past. As the sun sets, casting its last golden light over Oak Island, Rick Lagina and his team brace themselves against the cold wind. They know the island is more than just dirt and rocks. It's full of stories about lost treasures and ancient artifacts that have drawn treasure hunters for years. Every time they...
And a lot of it is not just underground, it's underwater. A lot more stuff to be discovered is underwater, man, trust me.
dig, they hope to find a clue, or maybe even the treasure itself. With each artifact they uncover, excitement grows. Each discovery, from ancient coins to mysterious stones with inscriptions, adds to the island's story. The history of Oak Island isn't just in books, it's buried in the ground, waiting to be found. They use advanced technology to look deep into the earth, revealing hidden tunnels and chambers that haven't seen sunlight in centuries. This tech shows a network of underground passages and pits, cleverly designed to protect the secrets below. But this isn't the hardest part. Personal stories of ambition and hope come to light during their quest. Each team member has their own reasons for being there, and they feel a deep connection to the island's legendary mystery. They share stories of past adventurers who were driven by the promise of discovering something big. The island's tough weather and rough terrain test their strength, both physically and mentally. But with each setback, their determination grows. The idea that they might be close to a major discovery keeps them going. As night falls and the team packs up, the island seems to whisper its secrets through the rustling leaves and crashing waves. Tomorrow brings new hopes and challenges. But one thing is clear, Rick Lagina and his team are not just digging for treasure, they are uncovering history, one layer at a time.